Hey everybody, Lex DeVille back for another lesson in advanced Upwork proposal writing. This one's going to be on presuppositions and future pacing. And we're going to talk about presuppositions first, then we'll kind of get into future pacing a little bit. But these are two of my favorite tools of the trade. Presuppositions. You could just say this is assumptions. So in NLP, presuppositions means it's when you presuppose that a thing is going to happen. So when I say something like, when you watch the next lesson, you're going to learn about storytelling in proposal writing, the uses and the art of storytelling in proposal writing, how that applies. I'm assuming that you are going to watch the next lesson. I said, when you watch the next lesson. Now, this doesn't have to be a when thing, but like, could you close the door when you come in here, or could you bring me water when you come in here? What are you presupposing? You're presupposing that there is water. You're presupposing that they're going to come in here. You're presupposing that there is a door and that they have the capability to close it. These are all presuppositions. So you can do this in your proposal. You can use this to great effect in your proposal to get the client to start to do things your way. You're starting to take more control right from the start. How would this work? An example of this might be, if you want to see some of my great 5-star reviews, check out my profile here. So what are you presupposing in that situation? You're presupposing that there are reviews there, and that if they want to see them, they will find great reviews. So you've kind of positioned those as great reviews. And you can say, when you check out my profile, be sure to check out my bio, because there's some information in there that might be really useful for you. So if you said that, then now you're presupposing that they're going to check out your profile and that there's useful information in the bio that they'll find if they decide to go there and check that out. Okay. The bottom line with presuppositions is that you're just making assumptions. So you're probably already doing this. You do this all the time. You do it every day. Everyone does it all the time. But just understanding what presuppositions are and how they work can sometimes give you a little bit of an advantage, because you can start to presuppose ideas that you want the client to just accept. They're going to accept these ideas automatically. If you say, could you bring me a water when you come in here? You're presupposing that the person is not where you are right now. And you are assuming that they are going to be where you are. You're assuming there's a person. These are just things that you automatically and they will automatically understand, you will automatically assume, and they will automatically comply with for the most part, because it's just going to happen. Nobody's going to question that they're coming in there. If you ask somebody to close the door when you come back in this room, they're going to close the door probably, and they're not going to think about it. They're not going to question it. They're just going to do it. They don't question whether there is a door. They know there's a door, so they just close it. Anyway, that's a pretty complex topic. I just like to give you like a brief overview. I'll have resources downloadable that you can kind of see and goes into it a little bit more. Let's talk about future pacing though. Future pacing is where it's at. I love future pacing, and future pacing a lot of the time uses presuppositions by presupposing that the client is going to do something in the future, or that together we are going to do something in the future. So I like to say stuff like, when we meet for a call, we can do Zoom or Skype. We can do our call by phone. I'm assuming that we're going to have a call, so I'm presupposing that we're going to have a call. And on that call, we'll probably talk about your business. We'll go over some clarity questions. It'll be to help me gain clarity about what you need. There's some things I want you to bring to the call and have prepared. So now notice what I'm doing. Now we've gone beyond presuppositions to the client is now imagining the call. I say, when we have this call, we are going to use Zoom or Skype, whatever the program is. So first thing that happens is they start imagining Zoom, or they start imagining Skype. They can see it. You can probably see this right now. I'm saying the word Skype and Zoom. If you know what those programs are, you can probably see Skype's little logo in your mind. And so you're thinking Skype. And what is that experience like? You can maybe picture the Skype box in your mind and what it's like to see words and text on the screen and be chatting with somebody else. Well, this is what's happening with the client. When we have our call, we'll do it through Skype. Now I've planted an image in his mind, and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. Now he's probably thinking about you asking him questions. We're not thinking in the present moment, we're thinking in the future. The client is thinking about the call and what is going to happen on that call. I'll give you these questions, and then if you like me at that point in time, then the next step will be for me to send you my proposal about what I'm actually going to do. And then once you've submitted your payment, there's another presupposition. Once you've submitted payment, as soon as they're going to submit payment, then I will go ahead and get started on your project. And now we're thinking way into the future about when I'm getting started on the project. So there's different ways you can apply this in your proposal. It doesn't have to be talking about the call. It could be getting them thinking about where their business is going. You could ask them, you could use a clarifying question maybe to ask about their business goals, or how do you see this coming to fruition? How do you see this working out? If everything goes perfectly with this gig, what is that going to look like for you? If you ask them, what is that going to look like? You're saying, what is in the future, some point out there, what is that going to look like? And they're going to respond to you, but this is causing them to go internal. And what it's also doing is causing them to imagine that point in time. They're starting to imagine things turning out right. So if you ask them, what would a great experience look like for you? They're going to imagine a great experience, and they're going to imagine that experience with you. If we work together, then what would you expect from me? Or when we work together, if you want to do when we work together, what would you expect from me in terms of being a freelancer that you like to work with? What are your expectations of me? This gets them thinking in the future. It's presupposing that you're going to work together. They're thinking, well, here's how I like to communicate. Here is what I like from my freelancer. So here's how I would imagine it with you. And you can I just do these, I dabble these, not just in the proposal. You'll find them in my proposals. You'll find them in my portfolio. You will find them when I'm talking back and forth in text chat. And then finally, you'll find them most importantly on the discovery call whenever we start talking together, because they're going to ask me what happens next. I'm going to say, once you make your payment, once you send your payment, then the next step is that I'm going to go ahead and build a framework for you. And then in about 2 weeks, I'm going to send that framework over for you, and you're going to approve it. And once you approve that framework, or you give me some adjustments, I'll make those adjustments, and then I'll start building the actual product. And once that's done, I'm going to send it over to you. I'm going to get your approval again. We'll upload it to your website. Once it's done on your website, we'll publish it live, and then we will see what results we get. And then we're going to work on those results and tinker them until we get better results. And we're going to keep adjusting and toying with it until we get better and better results, and our conversion rates go up, and eventually you've got a whole bunch of money coming in, you've got clients coming in on autopilot, and we are a very happy team because you're making money, so I'm making money, and we have a circle of life. Now, all of that stuff you probably could have just imagined in your mind, and you're not even my client, but the fact is, it's a thing that's happening in the future. We're talking about the future. So presuppositions is presupposing. It's assuming that a thing is going to happen. It's not even got to be a conscious assumption. It can be an unconscious assumption that something is going to happen, or that something is the way it is. When you come in here, will you please shut the door? Presupposes that they're going to come in here, presupposes that there is a door. Future pacing is simply creating a picture of the future in the client's mind. If you can create that picture in a way that feels good, it's a positive experience, and it involves you want that picture to involve you and the client working together, now you've got the makings of a really powerful proposal, because they're thinking about working with you, they're thinking about when they're going to work with you, what it's going to be like, how amazing that experience is going to be, and that is going to be enough, usually, to get them to respond. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Thank you so much. Again, come back for the storytelling lesson. Next, let me double check. Yeah, that's the next one, the role of storytelling in proposals. So when you guys pop over there, we'll talk about storytelling in proposals, and we'll go a little bit deeper into sensory details maybe, and just some of the cool aspects of different kinds of stories. That's all I've got for this one. Thank you so much for watching this lesson.